Okay, you're live. Sorry, everyone was moving the camera.
There.
Okay, you're live. Oh, there's no one watching yet, so don't worry.
Hey everybody, Tiffany here, and welcome to my quilting live. Saturday night, I'm live. We could chit chat while I make a random, very random. I'm just like creating as I go kind of thing, which you all could very well relate to when you're bored and you need something to do.
Diane's on. She says hi, girl.
Hello, Diane. I'm working with scraps, and actually, I'll show you guys. You remember when I made this, right, everybody? So when I made, I had lots of scraps left over.
Maxine says hi, mother.
Hi, Max. I had lots of little pieces left over, and they have become these little blocks, and I showed you guys when I put them together. Well, now I'm creating these into a bigger block. So there's a big, huge stack of those, and thank you to my helped me cut all the rest of those pieces up, which was awesome. So we got most of it tackled, and so now I have a pile of like 3 pieces over there, and I'm going to make them into something.
Hi, Maxine.
So yeah, and then Scott's here, obviously. Oh, let's see. Hi, Diane. Hi, Maxine. Hello, Tiff. Hi, Sandy.
What's the trouble coming our way, she's saying? She's talking about bad weather or something?
Hey, how are you guys? Hope you're all ready for the trouble is coming this way. Trouble, like storm or something?
I don't
coming
know.
that way. Oh, and Sandy, I got the dish soap.
Did you want a shot?
The dish soap dress cover that you sent me, or apron cover, or whatever you want to call it. It is super cute. It doesn't fit on the dish soap bottle we have in our kitchen, so I was going to put it on a different one in another room. Just to let you know, though, the mail must have got snowed on or something, because it actually came in a what is it called? A post office.
One of the post office
special
things.
envelopes, because it was ripped and tattered and torn, and I'm surprised they could still even see the address, but it made it here. So just to let you know, it probably got wet in the rain or snow or something, because I know you are in a snowy area. So yeah. So yeah, I got that today's mail. And so thank you very much. It's going to cover a dish soap bottle somewhere in this house, because God knows we only have like 2 per every sink.
Yes, we do, actually.
we have dish soap dispensers at every sink so that everybody washes their hands all the time. So that will definitely cover it. So, all right. There was $20 in there.
No, that we did not
No,
get.
that we did not get. That the envelope thingy was messed up, so I don't, unless someone stole it out of there.
Do you still have her envelope? We can show her what her envelope looked like.
Go grab it.
Did we throw it away?
Maybe you put it in the trash.
I don't know.
It's probably in the garage.
We couldn't even read your address or our address. The envelope was dilapidated. It was destroyed. They put it in a specialty post office envelope.
Yeah, it was like a. It has a post office thing, like writing all over it. So sorry for the inconvenience. We deliver 500,000 something.
202 billion.
2 billion packages every year. This just so happens to happen all the time. Blah 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 blah. And then the front was see-through because they wanted to see the envelope part of it with what
was
name
she
and
giving
stuff
us $20
was.
to enter the contest?
Was it for to enter the contest?
Oh, we'll wait till she comes back. Because I don't know what we'll do then.
Yes. Okay. Well, I could have Scott go get the envelope and show you what happened to it, because it was pretty dilapidated. I don't even know how they even read the thing, but...
Yeah, you couldn't read the address.
You can't even read the address, so I'll have him get it. So we can thank the wonderful post office for that and their mess up of things. So while he's doing that, I will tell you guys what I am making. I took 5-inch squares of what I had left of this material and 5-inch squares, and I put them right sides together, and I drew a line from corner to corner, And now I'm sewing on each side of the line. So this is a 5-inch square. Sewing on each side of the line is going to give me a 4.5-inch half square triangle. And I'm sewing them all exactly the same. Right now I'm just sewing down one side, and then I'll take the end and come back down the other side. That's just totally how I do it. I am a chain piecer all the way, every time. Look, this is what it looked like when it came to us.
It's kind of nasty.
You can't see it.
Oh, well, I can't tell if it can be seen or not.
This is what it looked like.
Yeah, our address can't be seen at all. I don't know how they got it to us even.
I know it says my name, but I can't really tell the rest. So this is what it looked like, though. That's how it came in another box, or not box, envelope that was see-through. So yeah, that's what happened. So it must have been the snow.
Yeah, I'll just start that.
I'm sorry about that. My husband got it. He goes, "What's this? Are you going to be dressing a little doll or something?" I said, "No, that's the cover of the dish soap dispenser." But he thought it was a little doll dress, so thank you. he doesn't sew anything, so he doesn't know. He just knows quilts. He just knows quilts. It's okay. That happens all the time. Well, not all the time. It's happened like 2 or 3 times. But one time was because I went to go get the mail in the rain, and 2 of the things that were in the mail were soaked. Soaked! So in the rain and snow and stuff like that, that's what happens to the mail. Unfortunately. So I'm sorry. So that actually, if anybody, I'm gonna say this in advance. So like, I don't know if I'll ever do this again. Obviously, because I'm raising money to get the camera and getting the camera soon. In the future, though, if you guys ever want to send anything through the post office, unless you're sending it as a surprise or something, or UPS or what is the other one? FedEx, those kind of things. FedEx and UPS, I don't think that kind of stuff happens too, because they ring our doorbell when we get those things. But when it's through the post office, if it's like in a letter envelope kind of thing, I would suggest for anybody in the future, send an email or a text message, for other people, but email me and let me know you're sending something, so that way I can look out for it. I knew you were sending something, Sandy, but I actually thought you were sending a pattern, not the little dress thingy, the dish soap cover thing. I actually thought you were going to send a pattern to make it, but that's even better, because now I don't have to make one, because then I'd probably get lost, because, it doesn't look hard, but off the point. Everybody should do that. So if you're sending, especially money through the mail, everybody might want to send.
She wanted it to be a surprise.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, though, for the, what is it called, kind gesture of it, obviously.
Hopefully whoever got it needed it, I guess.
Yeah,
that's the only thing you can say.
Better needed it, because I hate when that happens. I've had people steal money before, but I've also found money before and tried, sometimes I think I should turn it in. Sometimes if it's only like $2 or $3, I'll keep it. But if I find a $20 bill and I just saw the person walk in front of me lose it, I will stop them and give them their money. That's one thing I've always been like. But if it's like $2 or $3 on the ground, I'm keeping it. I need it. I got 4 kids. Well, they're grown now, but this was then. I've never found anything more than pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters on the ground though these days. So, again, I am so very sorry about that. Oh, I have other things going on here.
Next time, double the envelopes. Yeah, maybe that might have been a good idea, too. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never had it happen to my specific mail. But then I don't really mail often. We just mail out the check to pay the electric bill. That's it. Because everything else is electronic. And I know some people don't do electronically, but we don't mostly, but only through our electric bill, because it actually costs more to pay on the internet, which is the most stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I did get a refund from auto insurance one time years ago, and it gets super windy in our town. and the mail blew out of the mailbox. Luckily, I found it in my neighbor's yard, and it was my check I was looking for. So that was a lucky break there, but things happen.
It was wrapped up in a newspaper letter, and the letter too.
Yeah, we didn't get a letter.
It didn't have a letter either. It just had the little dress thing. That's it.
Just the dress and the dilapidated envelope.
Inside of another envelope with clear thing and writing on the back that said the United States Postal Service little info. Okay, so anyway, so I'm making half square triangles. What did I just say? Okay. A 5-inch square. So, okay, for half square triangles, for anybody that's a beginner and watching later, from 5-inch squares, if you a diagonal line from corner to corner and you sew your two pieces together, like so, and you sew on each side of that diagonal line, your 5-inch square will become two 4.5-inch squares. Why do you say that? Well, because you're sewing on this, so you're taking 2 1/4-inch seams on this side for this piece and 2 1/4-inch seams away from this side, which is half an inch off this side and half an inch off of that side. So with any size, so say you want to cut a 6-inch square to start with to make two 5.5-inch half square triangles, just remember what you make when you're doing these, what you make. If you want 2 from each one, just remember your big number minus, so if it's 6, you minus a 1/2 inch for both those seams, and your 2 finished half square triangles will be that 1/2 inch smaller. Now if you want just one half square triangle and you want that to come out at 5 inches, if you take a 5-inch square and you want a finished 5-inch triangle, then instead you would sew on the line. So you would draw the line from corner to corner and you would sew on that line. And then I always come over about 1/2 inch to the side and sew another line just so that I have 2, so I don't have so much waste. But then you would sew on the line, and when you open it up, you would have a full 5-inch triangle. So you're not losing any seams that way. So for those of you who want to know for the future, if you want a 6-inch half square triangle, you sew from corner to corner, and then trim away a 1/4 inch away, and then you can sew that back together if you want, or just pre-sew it like I do. Or you sew for a 1/2 inch smaller, then you would sew one line on each side and you get 2 half square triangles. There's also other ways, like sewing all the way around, get you 4 half square triangles that are 3.5 inches. And if you sew diagonally on both sides and diagonally on both sides the other way, and then cut 4, so it's the easy 8. From a 5-inch square, you would get 8 2.25-inch triangles. So I went a bazillion different ways last night trying to get me enough to make 1/4-inch triangles. I was trying to find the number that I needed to make half square triangles instead, and I needed 2.5 inch, but none of the numbers I was working with gave me 2.5 inch, and I didn't want to trim a bunch of blocks down, so I went with the 4.5 inch, and you'll see what I'm making in a minute, because I'll cut some of these up so you can see what I'm doing. So say you have a big long chain of them and you only sewed one side. This is how I make it like a lot easier for me. I come back to the other side and then I start sewing the other side of my line with my 1/4-inch seam on the other side. And I just make sure my piece is lying flat and I don't stretch it, pull it, tug it, or none of that. And I, for the life of me, cannot sew a straight line, and I do my best to follow the seam or the line that I've drawn on here, but 90% of the time I have some sort of little, veer off and then back on, because I cannot sew straight lines. So those of you who can, awesome, but I can't. Even if I hold the piece, like right here, I still cannot sew a straight line. So, what's everybody up to this Saturday night? How was everybody's Christmas? Did everyone have a good time with their family, friends, or at least a good hot meal? Or what did everybody do for Christmas?
We stayed home and had fun with the family.
Yeah, I didn't have to talk my friend Justin into anything. I said, come here, let me show you something. I showed him with the ruler and a rotary cutter. And actually, I had him try a bunch of rotary cutters, see which one felt good in his hand. And I had him take the ruler, and he sat in, he stood in here and trimmed all these down. He did one side, and then he only messed up one. He only cut one, a 1/4 inch too short, accidentally. But yeah, he actually, once I showed him the one time, he was able to cut. So he cut about 100 of them just on his own. And yeah, he seemed like he was enjoying it because he was playing with the rotary cutter maybe, you know, was what he liked. Too bad I couldn't get this guy back there on the other side of the camera to do it.
I help you.
He helps me, but he doesn't cut nothing. Maybe I can get him to do it during the live stream. Have him cut one of my half square triangles in half and see if he likes it. What do you guys think? Tell Scott on the other side of the camera that he can read. Tell him he needs to cut one block in half.
One block.
Just one. Just to see. See how well he can hold and control a ruler and rotary cutter.
I've helped you cut your fabric before in the garage. With the big long cutter.
Cut it, Scott. Cut it, Scott. He can do it. It's fun having a helper. So yeah, my friend helped me. That's what we did on Christmas. We watched a lot of movies.
Oh, Diane gave her great nephew a sewing lesson.
Aw, that's awesome. I can't wait till, well, I gave my kid, my only one of my kids, one of 4 kids is okay with sewing, but she doesn't come over enough. She is a procrastinator. So Alexa, if you're watching this, you have been procrastinating your project that's sitting in a box. But I give you props for learning how to sew. The other 3, the boys will make pillows, but Maxine doesn't want nothing. But Damon and CJ, they'll make pillows. They love to make pillows. I have to stay at like a certain speed or this machine just bounces around. We put a little non-slip thing under here, but it has not helped the problem at all, whatsoever. I'm almost to the end. And then I just need to snip them apart.
Vicky's on. She says hi, y'all.
Hi, Vicky. Trying to find out what everyone did for Christmas.
Diane says he wants to make some do-rags.
Oh, to hold your hair back?
Yeah.
How funny.
She said he's 18 and he wants to make some do-rags. That is funny.
All right. I was going to, what did I do with that darn thing? I was going to try to take some wood because I found an envelope opener, and I was going to take some wood and hook it to it so that I can just do this.
Now that I can do for you.
So that way I can just slide it on down and the wood would be stationary so that I don't have to buy one of those things because he's not letting me buy a $14 little cutter when we can use this. So I brought this in here thinking, maybe I could take some wood and turn this into a cutter, and actually it cuts this really nice. I'm barely even touching it.
I can put wood on there for you.
So that holds it up nice and straight and be creative and thrifty all at the same time because, well, who really actually uses envelope openers? Because we don't. We just like open the end, and some people stack it down to one end and just peel the little end off where that letter part isn't. And or I carefully pull tape because a lot of people tape things. But yeah, bam. See, just needs to be hooked to something. Let's see. I could stick it right here. Nope, that's not gonna work. Nope. I was trying to be creative.
I could either glue it
Anyway,
onto a piece of wood or
let's show Scott how to cut a
stick.
piece in half. Can you see right here?
No, you want me to bring it back?
Just back it up just a tiny smidge. That's good. Right there. We're gonna give Scott
I'd have
with
to
a fresh
I'd
blade.
have to put it down. Do you want me to put it down?
Just a little. Right there. Wherever you could see.
Dan says your openers break easy. Okay, what am I cutting here?
Line the ruler from corner to corner.
Why
Open your cutter and slide it down there.
Why couldn't I do this? You act like I don't know how.
He's doing it, guys. He's doing it. You don't even have to press hard because it's a fresh blade. You don't have to go back and forth. It's a fresh blade.
Oh, really?
You
Really?
didn't go hard enough.
Well, I didn't know how hard to press. I don't want to break your... fresh blade. What?
Watch. Watch, let me show you real
Go
quick.
away.
You just hold it from corner to corner. Obviously, this ruler is not big enough.
Honey,
You just
who's
go-
the one that cut your ironing board top for you? I don't want to hear it.
Watch your fingers, though,
I
because
can...
it is a fresh blade. You don't have to go back and forth.
Yes, I did.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, they want to watch you do it, man.
He did it, guys. Look, I don't...
I can use a circular saw. I can use a table saw.
Oh, funny. But yeah. I need this one because this will be easier. He did it, guys. He cut it.
They're rooting me on.
Come on, do another one.
Sandy says, go, go, go. Okay,
Just
okay,
like
okay.
line it up. Start from the beginning and just go. Whoop, bam.
You're gonna kick out of this, aren't you? You know I gotta go to bed soon. Let's see, it still doesn't.
It's because that's the area Justin and I were cutting a lot. We cut all those little pieces, so it makes indents. But I didn't wash it. I washed it beforehand. What do you guys think? I put the hubs to work. Then we'll turn the camera back up, obviously.
You always put
Just
me
don't
to
let-
work.
Just don't let the ruler go anywhere.
There you go.
Look at that. One slice and you cut that one. Try it one more time.
Okay. You always put me to work.
Just make sure that both sides are laying flat. I accidentally left one turned and I cut the thing away accidentally. So when you're cutting your half square triangles away, make sure that they're laying flat. So that way you don't accidentally cut away the piece that you've sewn. Just close the blade. And you can turn the camera back up.
You know I help you a lot.
Hi, Teresa. Thought you were going to bed. Oh, maybe not. I didn't even see that.
Okay, we're facing you
This
and
is
the
why-
Juki.
This is why we wish all us quilters wish we had help in the room at the same time. Because that way one person can cut and one person can sew. I used to, when I first started, have one of the kids come out and trim my chain piecing apart for me. So that way I didn't have to do that part. But I'm always scared of my kids using the rotary cutters. And they're teenagers and I still like cringe at the way they hold it. Of course, you guys do when I hold mine, but still, like, I don't know, when we watch our kids do it, it's totally different. They just don't know. I have 32 pieces here. So technically I have 64, I'm making 64 squares. I didn't do the math, I'm kind of just winging it. We all know how that works though. Just sew and go, sew and go.
I love you.
Love you too. Scott's going to bed, guys. It's past his night-night time.
Hey, he gets up early.
He's getting up early. You could have closed the door.
You need CJ for anything?
No, I was just making sure the cat
Yeah,
wasn't
he's out.
still in here.
I got him.
Okay.
He's out here.
Yeah, everyone said goodnight. No, I have not. I actually haven't even seen him post anything on Facebook since their vacation, so I'm not sure. Has anybody else heard from him? He's probably still on vacation. Maybe he'll come on before New Year's. Trying to sew them all the same exact direction, by the way, because when I open my pieces I want them to be orientated the same exact way. Tonight was shot night, so my belly hurts, so I came in here and I was like, you know what, I'll just go live and chit chat with you guys because my belly hurts, and I took the pain medicine, which helps usually before my shot, but I neglected to take the shot within a certain period of time of the pain medicine, and it kind of just, and then it didn't work, and I looked at the time and I said, oh, shit. So I did my shot, and now it stings and burns, and it'll probably last another 2 or 3 hours because it lasts for a while. I did it in my belly, and yeah, it's killing me. The pain medicine helps it ease away, but pain medicine can't work if I don't take the shot in the period of time, you know, that I was supposed to take it. So I'm going to turn the rest of this pile over, not very many pieces left, and then I'll trim all these down, and by golly, I'll be further than I was. I'm going to have to press them all. I'm just making sure all the pieces are open underneath so I'm not sewing anything that I'm not supposed to be sewing. See what happens? This whole thing starts moving, vibrating. I like to use my sewing machine like I like to drive a car. Pedal to the metal, baby. Oh wait, I can't because it just moves everywhere. I don't really drive like that. I'm a safe driver. And one of my viewers actually knows how safe I drive. If Michelle was on here, she could tell you I'm a safe driver. Because she's been in a car with me. I like the idea of this thing, but I just need a way to hold it steady. Alright, now trim all these pieces up in half and then press them. No, the only way you can get called back into like the Army, the Navy, the military, Marines, if you were of something, is if you're in the reserves. Like we had a neighbor that was in the reserves, so he goes when they need him, where he is needed, and so on. But only if you're in the reserves. So I think it's Army, it's reserves. I don't know all the branches and their rules and regulations, but you can re-sign up too, but once you're retired and or out, there's no point in going back, honestly. So I think he's just enjoying his vacation with his family time. So we'll see him soon, hopefully. He's probably just busy like I have been. So I'm gonna cut all my pieces real quick. I'll just tip that down for you guys so you can watch me cut. Yeah, I've had to put a fresh blade in because my other blade was, the one that was in it before this one was so much, it was way dull from cutting so many pieces, and then I had used that fleece, which I think dulled the blade even more, so I had to change the blade out. After fleece and flannel, you guys, it's best to just, if your blade starts going dull, sharpen it or put another one in, because we do make sharpeners for our blades. So I'm just lining them up, cutting in between. Also, I'm making sure I sewed on both sides, because sometimes I do get forgetful, and I'm pretty sure I got both sides of all of these though. And I did draw on with pin, not an erasable pin, but an actual pin, but it will be hiding in the seams and it shouldn't be a problem. I couldn't find the pencil that I was using when I started writing, so I just used the pin and didn't really care. If it was white fabric, it would have been different. I probably would have found a pencil somewhere somehow, but other than that. So this is how you make half square triangles. These have reserves also. Oh yeah, true. Having medical problems stops you from going back as well. And PTSD is considered a medical issue. I would stack these if I knew I was getting every single one of them exactly corner to corner. I've done it before. I don't want to take the chance. I'm just doing one piece at a time, obviously, when I start having issues, because it takes a long time. But these, I'm not going to trim them. I'm just going to go by what they should be, which is 4.5. My 1/4 inch seam is pretty darn good. I'll press these open and I'll start building a block. I'm going to press them all the same way too, and my dark, I'll consider the blue color to be my dark when I go to press them. So it'll be like I'm pressing to the dark, although both of these read as a dark color in the same manner. Did anybody happen to catch the Jordan Fabrics newest video of taking the big dream panel, that big huge flower panel, and building off of it? That was so awesome. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, you can go over to Facebook or Instagram, which is in my links below, and see that my husband's quilt had been finished. Obviously he's in there right now using it, but I finished his quilt and in record time. So I went and I built a quilt in 3 days, because that's just what I do. So I have all my other pieces that I have up here that I pressed laying up here, because what I'm making requires me to use more pieces. So I'm trying to keep them separated. So I'm going to use these because I need to cut myself 64, no, yeah, 32 and 32, 64. I need to cut 64 2.5 inch squares for my creation to come alive. So I'm going to place this right here, and I'm just going to press. I don't like to waste fabric. I told you guys this a bazillion times. Help me learn how to quilt, but I don't. But that's what I'm here for, Vicki. I'm close enough. It's called watch the video. I'm teaching you as best as I can until I can start having more better angles and stuff with the camera. Do I need to show you guys another quilting video? Because I can do free motion quilting on my play quilt that I, do stuff here and there if you want. Let me know, Vicki. I can do another video. If you want, I can make tomorrow, so Sunday, about free motion quilting. Alright, let's press these all back now. So I'm just going to give it some heat, and I have no water, so that's gonna suck because I like steam. I'm using a crappy iron because I haven't been able to, I didn't go get the easy off stuff I was told to get to fix my Black & Decker because I burnt the iron on fleece with a dumb move on my part. So now I just need to clean the iron. I should have did it today, but I wasn't thinking about it because I wasn't in here doing anything. I keep a bunch of water bottles in here for sewing. And then refill them as needed. All right, now for some steam. All right, that's better. Did I show everybody my quilt, that baby quilt that I did? The quilting art on? I think I showed you guys because I did the, this is another thing I hate about irons. Do you see what it did to my fabric just now? That funkiness? It'll catch a hole in the iron and it wrinkles it all up. See that? It screws it all up. See how well you guys can see that? The iron does this. Not me. It's the iron. It gets stuck in these little holes and it pulls an end up. So I have to flatten it back out nicely. I hate when that happens. I go too fast. I'm trying to go slow. I try my best at least. You're not dumb, Vicky. And poly batting isn't bad. Poly is very lofty. It's really good for quilting, actually. For really good results, you can use an 80-20 cotton poly, and or you can do 2 layers. You can take a regular cotton, like a Hobbs cotton, and you can double layer it by putting another layer of the polyester batting, secondary, and you get really, really good. That's for when you do a lot of like fancy quilting, but when you get into it, really, really good loft results from it when you're quilting it. I love doing the double batting. The quilt that I've been working on, it has double batting in it. Right here, this one has double batting in it. And I like the way the loft is on it when there's more than one layer of batting. Was given to you, the batting, you mean, that you have? So I'm just gonna stop pressing so I can show you guys what I'm building here. I'll press the rest in a minute. Alright, so what I am building here, turn it right here for you, is I am taking, and I need 2.5-inch squares, obviously, so I'm gonna cut 2.5 inches off of this piece right here. And these are like scrap pieces, so they're not all exact. They're kind of off just a little bit. Like ever so slightly for real. Okay. And then I will take one of my already made blocks. And then I will grab 4 of these little guys. So these are 2.5-inch hourglass blocks, or quarter square triangles. For those of you who don't know the correct terms, it's actually quarter square triangles. So I'm going to take 4 of them, mix the colors up a little bit. I don't want all the same color. So I'm going to take the orange ones, I'm going to put them in facing that way, and the blue ones facing this way. And then I'm going to corner it with one of these right here. And we're going to create a block. I'm hoping that it comes out. Obviously I should trim this down to 4.5 just to make sure. It's pretty good. Darn that, that's really good. Ever so tiny. Get rid of these dog ears obviously as well. Four and a half, lining up my diagonal line on my ruler. Doing it ever so slightly. Okay, so I had this down to the side like this. I'm going to try to do all the blocks exactly the same, and we'll see what comes out of it, obviously. So right now I'm going to put these right sides together and these right sides together, and I'm sewing this side and I'm sewing this side. So I'm just going to bring them over just like this. Obviously you guys want to watch me sew too. I got to tip this up just a smidge. I want you to be able to see both areas, so if you don't see my face, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to sew this side together real quick. You do know that I cannot sew a straight line for the life of me, but we're going to attempt a 1/4-inch seam right here. And I'm going to chain piece these together by hooking these two. And I'm going to press them open. And there's no specific side to press it to. I'm kind of just laying it on here and pressing it. And I'm going to have to switch to a different iron because one of these holes keeps catching. And it's going to frustrate me if it does it to every single piece. So I'm going to lay them back down, put it where you guys can see right here. So I'm going to lay the orange back down right here, and I'm going to lay the blue together right there. And now I'm going to sew these to this right here, and this to this right here. Again, a 1/4-inch seam. I'm not very good with straight lines, but I'm going to manage it anyway somehow. So this little piece on here. Now I'm going to press them again. I want that to be pressed that way. So let me set this back down so you can see. So that goes like this. And then this piece will go right here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I press this piece away and this piece towards this. So this bottom piece I press towards the big square, and then these two little squares I press down towards my small one. I'm going to place it right sides together. I'm going to nest only that one seam real quick. And these are really small pieces, so obviously they're a little bit easier to keep accurate when they're small like this. So I'm just gonna put my foot down and sew a 1/4 inch seam. Hold that seam together, keeping the whole thing matched, end to end. Trying to make sure that there's not that much funkiness. They are really small pieces and they are all on the bias. Okay, I'm gonna press it open. And that's my funky looking block for now. But once I build more, this will turn into something else. So let me build another one. So last one, they're all going to be exactly the same. So they're all going to match up exactly the same. So each side is going to match up and it's going to create a secondary pattern. So let me make another one. Let's cut ourselves another 2.5 inch square. Let's make sure this is 2.5. And that very well is. I'm going to put that in the corner. I'm going to use this blue throughout every single 2.5 inch square only because I don't want to change it out. So again, I'm going to make sure that all my colors are different. Put 2 facing this way. Grab 2 blue. It's too much of the same color. Trying not to be too picky, but I kind of want those colors to be mismatched. So again, now lay this right here so you can see. So I'm going to take these 2 pieces and sew them together. I'm just going to lay them at the machine on the side I want to sew. I'll take these 2 pieces, sew them together, lay them at the machine on the side I want to sew. Then I'm going to bring this over because that's what I want, and I'll bring this over so that I can see everything of my block is facing a certain way. Good night, Maxine. I didn't even know you were still there because you hadn't been talking. I love you, baby girl. I'll see you later. Hi, Susan. Sorry you didn't get your notification. Alright, so I'm going to sew on these sides. And no, I actually am not using my seam guide, which I should be, but I'm not going to. I gotta learn not to always have to rely on that darn seam guide. Oh, it's funny. Trim these apart. Press them one way. Try not to have to finger press, but it helps when you press it at the finger press first and then use the iron. And it helps open up that seam. Plus it's preventing me from grabbing these pieces with this piece of the iron that is really seriously damaging my fabric. Alright, let's lay this back there. That's where I want that. Those go there. That's why I want those. So again, I'm going to attach this to this piece and this to this piece. I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam. Oh, and I forgot to trim this piece down. It would have been nice to make sure that all my pieces are 4.5 inches. So let's make sure that this one has no dog ears and is 4.5 inches. Or else I would have just kept on sewing and not have cared about any of it. You guys know me. Just doing my best to make sure all the blocks are sort of the same. Sort of the same. Alright, let's try that again. That goes there, that goes there. Making sure I'm laying it in front of me the way I want it. So again, that goes there and that goes there. I'm hoping that this creates a secondary design the way I'm doing it. That's why I chose to only have one of these colors that would be the same throughout the whole thing. I was also kind of thinking of setting them on point, but we'll see how, because I might have enough fabric left over to make end triangles. Maybe. Just maybe. So that one I want to press towards the half square triangle. And this one I want to press. I'm trying to keep the bulk away. That one I'm pressing towards that. I'm going to put them right sides together. I'm going to nest these two seams up. One goes one direction, one goes the other. I'm going to hold this right here at the end. And I'm going to go press it open real quick. It nicely wants to lay that way, so I guess I'm going to naturally lay it that way. Whew. That way I'm saying I'm laying it to one side is the way it naturally wants to lay. My wonky cockeyed presser, this machine, this iron sucks. At least it works. It's not burnt like my other one. So here's number 2. So when they start going together, it's going to create little dog heads. That is awesome. So let me turn it so you guys can see. It's going to create little dog heads. See that right there? So let's build another one. I'm going to just lay them right here so you can see. Just trim this down to 4.5 inches. Just to be on the safe side, we will trim all my pieces. Hoping you guys could see what I'm doing right here. Line it up on 4.5, 4.5. I always make sure that my diagonal line is where it needs to be before I start cutting. Okay. So I'm going to take my piece. I want the orange facing down to me. Again, I'm going to grab 2 little pieces, making sure the colors are different. 2 more little pieces for this side. Oh, nope, I don't want 2 yellow polka dots in there. That one will work. And then we need to cut a little 2.5 incher off here. They might not all end up being perfectly 2.5 inches. I don't know how much of this material I actually have. And that one is 2.5 inches also, so that one goes for the next block. So that's going to go here. So I'm going to bring this whole thing in front of me, like this, and just sew it together while being right here. So I'm going to make sure one more time before I start sewing that these are where I want all my pieces. Again, I'm going to sew these 2 together first. And if you have these little dinky pieces, it's okay to not have, I mean, you can nest your seams. That means you have to turn all the seams facing a different way. And my seams are already facing one way. It would be very bulky if I turned them all. So I'm just going to leave them the way they are. Now I'm going to sew this one to this one on that side. So I turn the little piece. Snip them apart. Finger press them. That's the orange one. That's the blue one. Hooking that to that and that to that. Trying to keep all my trees directional as well while I'm at it. So I'm going to make that one go down, and this one press up. I'm mainly worried about this little corner right here, but it's nice when I get to the iron to have the whole entire thing finger pressed. Yes, hold on, I'll show you in a second what I'm saying about dog heads, because I don't know if I want to set this quilt on point or not, so for just a second, and then I'll hold up 2 blocks So you can see the dog head that has just randomly been created. I didn't know was going to happen, but it did happen. Come on, come on. So I'm gonna finger press it before I iron it because my iron seems to not like this. These little pieces. It keeps wanting to grab the ends, which I don't like when that happens. Alright. Here's number 3. Let's see what number 3 creates. Oh yeah, it turns it around. If you face it that way, if it faces this way, let's see what happens. That doesn't do nothing. Doesn't do nothing, but that does. So yes, this is going to be one of those quilts that I have to lay all the pieces a totally different way. So, let's see if you can see it. See right here, flat, ear, flat. Turn it to where you can see the dog head that has been created. Do you see that? And then it created it again with this one, but upside down. So this is going to be one of those things I have to lay it out a certain way, but it looks kind of cool. But I'm going to keep these pieces the same throughout the whole thing instead of turning them. But the blocks will have to be turned. I like how that's turning out. Let's make one more. Let's make one more. So I'll move that out of the way. Bring this to me. Trim it down to 4 1/2. Getting rid of the dog ears. Oh, that one's almost so down. And 4 1/2 right there, 4 1/2 right there, 4 1/2 all the way around. Alright, and that is a 2 1/2 inch square right here, but I want my orange with this corner tree facing that way. Kind of doesn't actually matter, honestly. I'm just being picky about it. Those are different. And let's see that color in here. And that one. All of them are different. Let's bring my block back up here now. Turn them all the way I want them. Sew them together. This is just a scrappy quilt, so obviously this is just me doing something for fun with scraps because I don't like to throw anything away. And a lot of times, like with jelly rolls, I use the whole entire piece, the whole entire jelly roll, and finish everything off with pieced borders because with jelly rolls, I don't like to have anything left because 90% of the time it doesn't match any of my other scraps. So I like to just make everything with the scraps like right then and there. Alright, so this one goes to this one, this one goes to this one. Line it up, sew a 1/4 inch seam. Sew a 1/4 inch seam on this. I'm going to press this back this way, press this one towards that way. They're both going different ways. Put my finger down and push on it, so because there's a lot of seam right there. And I'll put them right sides together. Sew another 1/4 inch seam down this side now, nesting that seam up. I'm just going to use my finger to push this down, and then I'm going to take it to the iron and do it the rest of the way. Doesn't want to stay. So much seams coming together right there. Stay right there. And let's see, let's put this on this way. So now I have created this. See what it's doing? It's kind of cool. I don't know what it looks like, but it looks like a dog head to me. But it's creating a secondary thing. Looks really cool though. I like it. Just now, Vicky? I don't know, I haven't seen. My phone is making noises though. So it's going off. There's something going on besides the battery dying. Like always. So I'm always connected to a charger. So, alright. Looks like a confused star. Yeah, I don't know what it looks like, but I'm kind of glad that I'm keeping all of my little squares the same color throughout the whole thing, because it'll, I don't know. I could have changed the colors out and put orange, but my orange peaches, they're like 2.5 by 2.25, but I think that's too much orange if I would have went with orange. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. But if I would have went with orange, I think it would have been too much orange. I like the blue. I could have also put those corners as one of these too, but I wouldn't have known which way to face it. I mean, I could have faced it like that. No. 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 Yeah, I don't like it that way. No. Nope. Yeah, I'm glad I put a solid there. I like it like that. So, alright. Yeah, something mirrored T, I guess. Or a plus sign, X. It could be a lot of different things. I don't know, but it's scrappy and I like it because I like scrappy, and it's controlled scrappy too. So it's leftover scraps from another quilt. So technically the scraps are controlled. I'm controlling where the colors go. I'm controlling the orientation of them, and the whole thing is pretty much all the same colors from another quilt. So that's controlled scrappy. There are other ones where you can make this and it be one color, like a solid, to go with every other color you could possibly imagine of scraps from everything that you did all year long, which would probably look cool also, because I like scrappy as well, that are mixed up and don't match at all. But I like controlled scrappy better, so. Alright. Like the Delectable Mountain. Is that the one, the Missouri Star one? Is that one you're talking about? Or is that one the Fonz and Porter one? Because Fonz and Porter and Missouri Star both have a mountain looking one. Yeah, kind of. I don't know, we'll see what it all looks like when I finally get it all together. So this is what I will be doing all night. I'm going to let all of you guys go because it's probably really late. And let's see. Trying to see. Oh, those are pretty awesome, Teresa. I like that. And that's flannel or fleece? It looks like, the one looks like fleece. Alright. So, it's late for you guys. It's only 11:19 for me, so I'll probably do until the movie is over. And it's a long movie. It's barely in the middle of the movie. So, flannel and minky. Oh, that's awesome. So I know it's Saturday night, everyone stays up late, but I'll just let you guys all go. And don't forget, if you are new to my channel, subscribe button. It's red. It's like right there, literally there, down there. Hit that. A bell will pop up when you see that bell. And you'll get notifications, or maybe you won't, but you should get notifications when I'm on. Don't forget to like my videos, and you can share my videos as well so that other people in the world know that I'm here. And guess what, guys? When I logged in, I was at 201. 201! Yay! 201 subscribers. Yep, that number just went from nothing to bam! 201. Just like that. Just like that. So I thank you guys for subscribing to my channel and watching me and supporting me and all that I do here with all my craziness, because that's pretty much all I do is crazy quilting. You know, I'm a disaster. I love you guys. Get some rest. See you next time. Tomorrow. So Sunday. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.